Hello, I am Daniel Dargis, engineer, general contractor, and impartial construction advisor. Today I want to talk to you about the theme Precautions, Verifications, and Advice to be taken into consideration before choosing a construction contractor in the Province of Quebec. I mention Quebec because some points are specially addressed to the Province of Quebec. So before choosing a building contractor or even before starting the work, certain precautions and checks should be taken into consideration. I will divide my recommendation into two categories of advice. First, for the contractor-entrepreneur, how to triggeredly check an entrepreneur at 360 degrees. And second, for the clients, how to prepare yourself well before choosing a contractor-entrepreneur. So let us first look at the contractor-entrepreneur, 8 points to triggeredly check an entrepreneur at 360 degrees. First, check the contractor's RBQ license. RBQ stands for Régie du bâtiment in Quebec, in accordance with the type of construction work you need to be done. Be aware that there are several types of RBQ licenses that refer to different types of work. For more information, contact the Régie du bâtiment du Québec directly mentioning the contractor's license. Second, check the contractor's references. Contact the contractor's former clients personally to find out how satisfied they are. It is useful to know the good and the bad sides of the contractor and his work. Third, check with a lawyer if the contractor has been prosecuted in the past and for what types of misdemeanor. This is very important to get to know him better. Fourth, check the business capital and its assets, as well as those of the entrepreneur personally in the event of a lawsuit and poor workmanship. Too often, contractor-entrepreneurs leave only a small business operating capital, then close and open a new business, and in lawsuits, although clients win their case, there is almost nothing left in the business for compensation. You can discuss with your lawyer how to include in your contract with the entrepreneur-contractor a reserve amount of security deposit in the event of an appeal or by other means. Fifth, check the behavior of the entrepreneur-contractor during your meetings and conversation. His punctuality, attitude, and posture, the appearance of the truck he is driving, and his equipment. Does he keep his word? The appearance of the documents he presents to you, business card, contracts, etc. Sixth, check the broken down price list with details according to building laws in Quebec, especially if there are large discrepancies between the contractor's price and the other bidders. So ask for a well-documented specification code including the price details for each stage of the construction process: excavation, foundations, wood frame, electricity, plumbing, and so on. It is, of course, preferable beforehand to write a detailed price estimation quote to submit to all the bidding contractors. Get help for this from an impartial construction expert, such as an engineer, architect, technologist, but someone with a good experience of construction sites. No office professional who only draw plans and have almost never set a foot on construction sites. Check the salary budget of the contractor's employees according to the laws and standards of construction work. If, for instance, to carry out a specific frame assembly job, labor standards in Quebec require that carpenters' employees be paid more than $50 per hour, so make sure that your contractor respects these rules. Otherwise, you could have problems. And this for each type of work for which your contractor has proposed a price. So be sure that the contractor not only has a valid RBQ license, but also that he will hire the good worker and that he will pay them according to labor standards in Quebec. This can often explain the large differences between the prices of bidders. These salaries are under the supervision of the CCQ, la Commission de la Construction du Québec. It is good to contact the CCQ to find out about these labor laws in the construction sector. Seventh, check the contract with a lawyer and with an impartial construction expert, and always with a professional who has strong technical experience on construction sites and with building laws in Quebec. Also keep in mind payment methods, inspection plan during the work, by whom, termination of contracts, and other important contractual matters. Finally, 8. Check the plans and specification, especially if the contractor is also leading the design and proposing the plans. Check with an engineer or any other impartial experienced expert. It is very important that the impartial professional has a strong practical experience on construction sites. Let us now look at the client side with 3 points. To properly prepare yourself for choosing a building contractor and before starting the work. First, knowing the construction laws in Quebec. Legal mortgage, compulsory wages to be paid, who has the right to perform certain work, RBQ licenses depending on the type of work that can be carried out. You should know, for instance, that in Quebec there are several laws in the construction sector and legal tools, such as the legal mortgage and denunciation, in order to compel a client to pay a contractor who has carried out his work. I have known of situations in which the contractor, having done bad work, registered a legal mortgage in order to oblige the client to pay for it anyway. Therefore, you understand that a client with little or no knowledge of the construction sector, who was not present during the work and who did not consult an impartial expert with experience in construction, from the start with a poorly drafted contract and with no monitoring of the work, finds herself very deprived when it comes to asserting her rights. Second, taking courses and training in construction and learning about the techniques of construction in Quebec. Several schools and professional associations, such as the APCHQ, offer short courses of a few hours on construction techniques in Quebec, with framing, installation of exterior coating and cladding, installation of roof shingles, and even in construction law. This is a valuable asset before choosing a contractor, signing a contract, or starting work. The APCHQ also publishes several documents, including the Compendium of Technical Sheets, Le Recueil des First Techniques, which is very well illustrated, like this one. Finally, third, be guided, as I already mentioned, by an impartial expert consultant. Even if you are well informed, it is important to be accompanied by an impartial construction expert, such as an engineer, an architect, a technologist, or others, with a comprehensive practical experience of the construction sites, but not involved in the project, before even the selection of a building contractor, in order to draft the scope of work and check the plans, interview the bidding contractor-entrepreneurs to help you select one, check the contract, supervise the work, be present on the building site at important times while you are at work, manage unforeseen events, project change and extra, and accompany you in order to obtain a compliance letter at the end of the work. Va aussi vous accompagner afin d'obtenir une lettre de conformité à la fin des travaux. This impartial construction expert will serve you well, as much as to properly supervise or manage your project, as in case of conflicts with your contractor, and to confirm that the construction is well executed. Conclusion. It is therefore very important to, first, check the contractor 360 degrees with the 8 points I have mentioned. Second, prepare yourself well by learning about construction techniques through books and training, and especially by being accompanied by an impartial construction expert with a thorough practical experience on construction sites in order to be properly advise, and protect during all stages of the project. This was my presentation on precautions, verifications, and advice to be taken into consideration before choosing a construction contractor in the province of Quebec. You can see several of these information videos on Facebook Construction Daniel Dargis, also by looking on YouTube Daniel Dargis Engineer, and on the following websites dargisconstruction.com and businesstripcanada.com. Do not hesitate to contact me. I am Daniel Dargis, Engineer, General Contractor, CCQ Journeyman Master Carpenter, and impartial advisor in the construction field in the province of Quebec since 1989. Thank you, and see you next time.